Bubbly Steve is available for pre-order at shopclownfish.com. That's shopclownfish.com. You've got less than a month to pre-order this 15-inch plushie. Check them out. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Netflix Avatar again because it's been confirmed those leaks were 100% true. Mm-hmm. Those kids that we were talking about, yeah, they're being cast.
Some of them are kids, some of them are older.
Kids, everybody's a kid to me. They've been cast, and all people can talk about is the diversity and inclusion and representation.
Oh, yes, because when they talk to the people that are doing the show, they're like, we want to make it authentic. Because, you know, in another world where they have bending powers and flying buffalo and everything else, you got to keep it effing authentic. Because the original wasn't authentic enough, even though no one in the show was white and they were all Asian.
So, also, they make sure you know their pronouns. Why the fuck do we need to know their pronouns?
I don't know why, because they're trying to make Twitter happy? Who knows?
This is what Netflix does. They did it with Sandman 2, and they just want you to know. They want you to know that they're woke, because they're Netflix.
Well, you know, go them. Does it matter? I mean, I'm more interested in the show. Well, I'm not interested in the show at all. I'm just going to tell you straight up. And the more I hear about it, the worse it gets. It has nothing to do with pronouns. I'm just going to be clear. It's more to do with the dumbass comments they're making about the show, and we already know it's going to be like, you know, we have Aang who's been adopted and he's, you know, happy-go-lucky and he's popular at school. That didn't happen.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. This show is going to have way bigger problems than the representation, but that is what they're going to focus on. It's going to be sleight of hand. Guys, don't worry. Yeah, we're changing everything. But this show has representation. So and they're using pronouns.
They're going to be authentic.
You're not allowed to criticize them.
We have to tell authentic Asian stories about a world that wasn't in our world, with a bunch of people that were 4 tribes that had certain powers that don't exist in our world. But, you know, they're keeping authentic.
Yeah.
And they want to make sure it's authentic to the people, the race of people they are. Which, and again, the show, no one in there was white. They were all like Asian.
So we're going to talk about that. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 230,000 subs.
Yeah.
So this is how Netflix does it. They always put this out there. They put the casting news out there. And they're going to focus on the representation and the wokeness and the pronouns. And they're not going to address, well, the rumors, which these rumors were true. You know, people are like, there are rumors out there. They're basically making another teen show where they discover supernatural powers and completely ignore the lore of the entire show. I hope it's false. Guess what? If this was true, the other rumors are probably true as well.
And, you know, I'm waiting for all the backlash because, wait, it's not enough representation. I see all those pronouns, you know, match their genders, so that's a problem. And how many of those characters, those actors are LGBTQ?
Oh, yeah.
That's not representation enough. And why weren't some of them gender bent to be other women? Because they have 3 boys and 1 girl. That's a problem. And they are, because they identify as boys and girls in their pronouns. So how, you know, that's a problem.
So Albert Kim, showrunner and writer. Again, we're not going to talk about the plot. We're going to talk about diversity and inclusion. A live-action version would establish a new benchmark in representation and bring in a whole new generation of fans.
Because the original wasn't representative enough? It literally was representative. They even had Toph in the original, which they didn't put her in this one.
No, well, we didn't get there yet. We got to get to the next
and that so she even had, like, she couldn't see. You know, they even had representation in levels, you know, for things like that as well. And she was like my favorite character. But they don't, you know, where's representation for her? You know, they did cut that out. But representation that already existed in the original.
This was, they addressed that. This was a chance to showcase Asian and indigenous characters as living, breathing people.
Because so they're doing live action?
Yeah, not just in a cartoon, but in a world that truly exists.
Right. Aren't all you Asian and indigenous people so happy that you were never represented and you're now that they have living, breathing actors?
There it fucking is. Not just in a cartoon, but in a world that truly exists, very similar to the one we live in.
Okay, that's it. There it is.
There it is, guys. There it is.
It's flipping CW.
It's a CW show. There it is.
I recommend you all not watch this piece of shit. And I feel bad for the actors because it's not their fault.
No. I also knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to change things for the sake of change.
Wait, I didn't want to change things for the sake of change. Let me go back. But hey, we're going to put it very similar to a world very similar to the one we live in.
Because that's cheaper. I didn't want to change things for the sake of change. I didn't want to modernize the story or twist it to fit current trends.
But you just did! You just got done saying you want representation, authenticity, that which we didn't have in the cartoon, but you didn't want to change or modernize the story to fit current trends. When these kids are on Earth in high school.
Aang is
you
not
changed everything.
Aang is not going to be a gritty anti-hero. Katara is not going to get curtain bangs. I was briefly tempted to give Sokka a TikTok account. Think of the possibilities.
Wait. I'm not changing things for the sake of making the changes. But now Aang isn't an anti-hero. He isn't going to be a gritty anti-hero. Katara's not going to have curtain bangs. That's what your examples are? No, you have Aang being an adopted kid who's happy in school. You changed quite a shit ton of going by the descriptions for the actors.
We'll be expanding and growing the world, and there will be surprises for existing fans and those new to the tale. But throughout this process, our byword has been authenticity to the story,
authenticity,
to the characters, to the cultural influence. Authenticity is what keeps us going, both in front of the camera and behind it.
Have you watched the source material?
You are not going to be allowed to criticize this show because they are preemptively telling you you're a bigot if you hate it. Oh, now here's a statement from one of the creators of the original. Open letter to Avatar fans. Many of you have been asking for updates about Avatar live action on Netflix. I can finally tell you I am no longer involved with the project in June of this year. Okay, this is from before, I believe. After 2 years of development, we left. We made the difficult decision to leave. When we signed on the project in 2018, we were hired as showrunners. In a joint announcement for the series, Netflix said it was committed to honoring our vision for this retelling and to supporting us on creating the series. We expressed how excited we were for the opportunity. Unfortunately, things did not go as we had hoped.
It definitely went a completely different direction.
Yep. So he likes to be like an air nomad and go with the flow. But even an air nomad knows when it's time to cut their losses and move on. Started to reevaluate what's truly important in my life and what I wanted to do with what's left of it. So yeah, basically they were saying back then, I remember when they made the statement that this is not going to be Avatar: The Last Airbender. They can say, hey, look at the casting choices, guys. It's going to be authentic. It's going to be authentic.
Authentic to whom?
It's going to be authentic to everything but Avatar. They might look like the characters.
We're not changing anything. We're not modernizing it. We're not changing anything for the sake of changing everything, except by changing everything.
Yeah.
And then they're saying this. And then they're making the DMCW show.
Love this. This is coming from comicbook.com. At this point, little is known about when Avatar will get a release, but its recent casting marks a big step for the franchise. Now it falls to Kim to bring his vision to life, unlike the showrunners who cut and run. Cut and run.
Yeah, who would think would have been a better choice to do this? Well, first of all, the live action idea was a dumb one to begin with. Everybody said that. But at least it was in the hands of the original creators, so you're like, okay, well, we might get something better than the Avatar movie. And no, they said, hold my, beer. We're gonna fuck it up worse. Sorry, Mom, but they're totally gonna ruin this show.
Hold my cabbages.
Hold my cabbages. I love it better.
Hold my cabbages, people. We're gonna make coleslaw out of this shit.
Yeah, they're gonna totally ruin this.
Yip,
there's
motherfuckers.
No question.
Or is that yif? Oh my God, Sokka needs to say that.
Oh my God.
Yip, motherfuckers.
You stop saying that.
Avatar state. Yeah, it's gonna be hot trash. It's gonna be hot trash, and you're not gonna be allowed to criticize it, or you're gonna be a racist piece of shit. That's how they play this game.
So is Appa gonna be like his bike?
Oh my God, it's gonna be
he rides at the school.
It's with like a furry on like a head of a stuffed animal on the bicycle or something.
Yeah.
This is gonna be dog shit. The show
but it's
is gonna be dog shit.
authentic.
It's so authentic the showrunners fucking quit in frustration. That's how authentic it is.
No, they're trying to say it's authentic to the voices of the people they represent.
But not the show.
But not the show. And the thing is that the people that in the show weren't from here. It was another world. It didn't have to represent this one.
Now,
you already did diverse hiring, but it was diverse to begin with.
He is pulling to Kevin Smith. What he's doing is he's basically talking around. He's not outright lying, but he is sidestepping the question, which is, are you going to set this avatar in the modern world and basically change everything? I'm not going to change everything. the characters are going to be authentic to themselves, and they won't have TikTok.
Katara won't have curtain bangs. It's like that. What was that movie when the guy was going to buy the house, and then the people that owned the house, every time he say like something, they're like, "Oh, we're taking it with us." Ha 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 ha. They said just kidding for the first thing, and then they kept saying we're taking it with us. They'd laugh about it, and then when the guy went to move into the house, they literally took everything with them. They said they were going to take with them. And then they said, well, we told you, well, you said you were kidding. I said, no, we were just kidding about the one thing. We never said we were kidding about everything else.
Was that Funny Farm?
I don't remember what it was. But they took, like they said, we like that shower, oh, we're taking it with us. Ha ha ha. And then they got in the house, it was gone. It's like that.
Yep. So there we go, guys. That rumor was correct. So if that rumor was true, I am willing to bet my cabbages that the leaked story is also true. That this is going to be a modern world retelling of Avatar, and it's going to be a CW show, and fans are going to be angry. But again, you're not going to be allowed to criticize it because they cast Asians.
Mm-hmm. Indigenous people.
And indigenous people.
Yeah, like the original show had Asians and indigenous type people.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no one was white in it. There was no need to change things.
So I could get whitewashed for a second time. Anyway, we knew that was going to happen. We're going to wrap it up. Mm-hmm. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.